on that connection. And then you have to put in your inset, your username, and your password to get in. When you've done that, there you're now in VLab. These are the favorite ones that are used quite often, software. If you click on all, you'll see the different labs. Okay, there's the Arts and Science Lab, Common, U of S. That's the one you click on to find SPSS. It's listed amongst there. So if you click on there, up comes, these are programs that are common to U of S. If you go down, scroll down, you'll find SPSS 26. Click on that. There's SPSS 26. You click on that. And up will come the program. This is the program. When you open it up, you can click on this to open up a file. You can type in your data set. If you click new data set, it allows you to type in. If it's too long, it's better to open up the data if it's contained in the file. The files I usually use are Excel files. So here comes the dialog box that's going to open up a file. You click on the file you want to, type of file you want to open up. And then you search for the file that's of that type. The one I'm going to look at is assignment 1, computer 213 data. Open up that file, and up comes this window. It's showing you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have these slides posted anywhere just in case we might have missed something?
Okay, yes. These slides that I'm going through now are posted on the Stats 245 webpage beside, I think, one of the lectures.
Okay, thank you.
If I press OK, it'll open up that file. There'll be two windows that appear. One window is the window containing the data. There it is below. It's much like an Excel web page, like an Excel sheet. These are the different cases, each row. These are the variables, the case number, the age of the person, blood pressure of the person, whether or not they use birth control or not. These are female subjects. And also another one is age group. That's just age converted into a categorical period.
I'm sorry, Professor. It's just 3:30 now. And you know, I logged in a couple minutes in advance, and the lab had already started.
Okay.
I'm wondering if, because it's just 3:30 now, I'm wondering if you could go back for those of us just joining.
Okay, sure.
Know what we missed.
Sure. Okay, so I'll go back to the start. Okay, what we're going to learn today is how to use SPSS. After this lecture, I'll actually go through the steps and show you how to do it. The steps are here. SPSS is a package that's available in most computer labs. Because of COVID, you can't go into those labs. You have access to those labs through your tuition. You can also access these labs remotely by connecting to VLab. If I go into the university website and search for VLab, we'll get a link to VLab. There's the link to VLab right at the top. Click on that link, and that will get you into VLab. When you click on that link, up comes this dialog box asking you for your username, which is just your INSEAD, and your password is your university password that goes with your INSEAD. If I put my username and password in, press connect, up comes this window. This is now, you're now in VLab, virtual lab. There's a collection of programs that you can use. The first ones here are the ones that are most commonly used. If I click all, I'll see the different labs. Click all. And there's the labs, arts and science, common programs to all of U of S. And then there's other labs in there. I would click the one common to U of S. There's where you'd find SPSS. Clicking on that, here are all the programs. You have to probably scroll down to get to, there's SPSS 26. That's SPSS. You click on that, and that will open up SPSS. You might, after you open it up, you might have to put in your INSEAD and password again. Okay, there's SPSS, the starting window. There's the next window. If you click new data set, it allows you to type in the data by hand. This next one is a database command. But if you want to open up a file, just click on that. And up comes this window here. We're opening it up. You have to specify the type of file you want to open up. I quite often use Excel files to store the data. So you pick the file type, and then you would search for the file that you want to open. Okay, so this is listing all these. The one that I want to open up is assignment 1. I would click on that and then press open. Up comes this window saying that it's reading in the Excel file. These are a sample of what it's going to be reading in is the preview. There's some things that you might want to check. Ignore hidden rows and columns. I don't know if that's that important. But after this box comes up, press OK, and you're into using SPSS. There'll be 2 windows that appear. One window will be the window containing the data. This is similar to this. This data had, I don't know how many cases, but quite a few cases. One of the variables measured was age, blood pressure, whether they're not using birth control pill. And another one is just age converted to category. Now, the output window is just telling you what's been done. It said it read in some data. Okay, assignment 1 is what it read in. And it executed, put the data set there. The window, it put the window in the front. So this is the IBM output window. This is where all your statistics will come in. Now, to perform an analysis, you just hit the menu Analyze. There's quite a few techniques that are available here. Descriptive statistics is where you would compute mean and median and other quartiles, possibly, and other things. Another menu is graphs. So I'm thinking of using just a graph to display this data. So you go into Graphs Chart Builder. Eventually, there's a thing that eventually you get this window. There's the list of variables that are in the file. There are the different types of graphs, bar graphs, pie graphs, histograms. I'm interested in how blood pressure, BP, is affected by age and maybe through age group, and whether they use birth control or not birth control. So I think the best type of graph is a box plot because it's very compact. So I go down and pick box plot. What I'm interested in is blood pressure, how it's related to age. We'll use categorical age rather than continuous age, and birth control pill use. So the one we're going to use is the one in the middle here. It's one where you have different categories along the horizontal axis, and then they're grouped into different categories. So to do that graph, you just click on this graph here and drag it into this position here. So that's what it looks like. Then you have to identify what's going to be along the y-axis. What's going to be along the y-axis is blood pressure. Then what's going to be along the x-axis, that will have age group. And then we'll have them clustered in each age group according to birth control pill use. So I would drag those variables into those positions. Blood pressure for the vertical axis, age group for the horizontal axis, birth control pill. Yes.
I got a good question. When you uploaded that assignment file into SPS, right?
Yeah.
How do we get that file on the VLab? Because like I was trying to follow along on VLab, but I couldn't find that file.
Okay, I'll show you at the end of the lecture.
Yeah, there's a little button on the right-hand side. If you look, it looks like a little toolbox, and if you click that, you'll get like a little drop-down menu. And
Or
from
Cisco Connect.
yeah,
Yeah, the VPN. Okay, and that's how you load up the desktop and thing that you would get if you were in a computer lab on campus. Yeah, so I'll go through that. Okay. Okay, so I've put it in here. I press OK, and out comes the graph. So along here you have the age group. Up along this axis here you have blood pressure, and you have whether or not the subject used birth control or did not use birth control. If you look at that, you can see that as age is going up, blood pressure is going up. So blood pressure is increasing with age. Also, blood pressure is higher for women who are on birth control, that's yes, versus those who are not on birth control. So this, to me, would be adequate presentation of the information. Now, when using SPSS on VLab, your desktop won't be the desktop on your computer or laptop that you're using. It'll be the desktop on a university computer under your account. The Excel data file that you import to SPSS has to be located there. You have to connect to that desktop and transfer the data to connect to that desktop and transfer the data file to that desktop. To connect to Cisco AnyConnect BP, you use this icon down here. Here it is again, with showing exactly what it is. You click on that. Up comes these dialog box. This one is just asking you to connect to VPN. You press connect, and then up will come one asking for your INSID username and your password. Click OK, and you're now connected. You can find now this by going onto the files and looking for your INSID and then cabinet usas.ca. And then there's the desktop. That's where you'd put the data file. So let me just stop sharing that, and I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, so get out of these. And down here, that symbol there, hopefully it's the same on your computer, is Cisco AnyConnect. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. This is Cisco AnyConnect. You click on that and click connect. There's my username, and then I'd have to put in my password to connect to that. So now when I go into the file explorer that's here, here it is here. This is where the desktop will be that SPSS finds. Okay, so I'll look at the desktop here. And there you have some of the files that were necessary. Assignment 1, computer 213 data. That's assignment 1, so it's there. That means I'll be able to access it from SPSS. To get to SPSS now, I'll go and I'll just go to home. University of Saskatchewan. Search for VLAB. There it is there. Press VLAB. Now it's asking me for my user, my NSID. I might not have put in my password. Okay, so I'll go back here. Go to University of Saskatchewan, search for VLab. Connect to VLab. Put in my username and my password. I think it's already there. Connect. Okay, so there I'm now in VLab. I'll find SPSS in Common U of S. I'll have to go down a bit. There's a lot of software. There's geographic software, Mathematica. There's SPSS. Click on it. Sometimes I think it's asked me for my password again when I opened it up. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to open up another file. Now I have to identify the type of file that it is. It's an Excel file. These are the files that are on the desktop of or on my documents. I think I'm looking for on the desktop. Here it is here. And the file is assignment 1. That's the file that I wanted to open up. Now, going to graphs, I go to chart builder. I never read this, press OK. And there's the different charts you can do. If you wanted to do histograms, you can do histograms. I think the best ones are box plots. There's box plots and ones that are categorized. Along here, you'd have along here you'd have blood pressure. Here you'd have age group. And then you'd cluster them according to birth control pill use. Press OK, and we'll do the graph. So this is the output one. The output, see at the beginning it had all of the stuff about reading in the data, but it'll have the graph. There's the graph. You can click on this and then go to edit. Maybe I'll double click and then go edit, copy chart, and then you can paste it into a Word document and write down your conclusions. So are there any questions? I think the big hump with packages is getting over the first steps of running them.
Excuse me, I have a question actually.
Sure.
Is this going to be recorded? Like, is this something we can refer back to?
This lecture was not recorded. I should have pressed the record button, but it was not recorded. But I possibly can go through it again by myself and record the commentary.
Okay, thank you.
If you go to, let's say, if you go to the Stats 245 webpage, go to home. Here's 245 webpage. Here's lectures. And the PowerPoint demonstration was recorded. So this is something you can refer to. Oh yeah, I think you have to go down here and open the file. So this was the PowerPoint that I went through. So you can go through that again. You won't have the commentary though. Are there any other questions?
Hi, Professor. I had a question.
Sure.
Could you go over just how we export that graph from SPSS onto a Word document? Because I've been trying a little bit here, and I'm not able to actually copy the chart and then paste it on something else.
Yeah, that might be a problem with VLAB. For instance, I'll do escape here. That may be a problem with VLAB.
For this, could we just take a screenshot of it and then post
You
it
could
on the
do a
link?
screenshot. That might be a way to do it. There's a lot of, I find a lot of problems with VLAB, okay? Let me just, get rid of this. Here's my SPSS. I have assignment 1 up there. So I'll open up a file, open. It's an Excel file. And it's on the desktop of my computer. Okay, it's Excel file. There it is there. Press OK. I'll do a graph, chart builder. Okay. It'll be a box plot. Blood pressure is here. Age group is here. And birth control pill use is what you cluster. Press OK. There is the graph. I'll double click that, and then I'll go edit. Copy the chart, and then I'll go into Word. And then File, right, it's home. Oh, there it's Paste, Paste Special. I'll do a, I like to pay as an enhanced meta file, because then it can be scaled. So there it is. It can be then scaled to put, so it works with my SPSS, which is located on my, I don't know why it doesn't work with the VLab one. You can do a screenshot and then paste it into a file, possibly. Or even if you have a phone that does photographs, you can take a phone picture of it and paste it in to the document.
So, Professor, to clarify the expectations of the assignment, we use the data, we get on SPSF, we create this chart or graph, and then do we submit any inferences from this? Like, do we do a 5-number summary? Or
maybe you would put a couple of comments. You can sort of see as age is going up, blood pressure is moving up. And you can see that it's higher for people, subjects on birth control pills, than it is for people who are not on birth control pills. So just a couple of statements. When you do statistics in practice, you don't want the statistics to overwhelm the real objectives of the research. So you want to keep it as simple as possible. I once had a person, a woman in psychology. She wanted me to interpret her results. She had pages and pages of results, but after talking with her a little while, I realized the data would probably fit on one sheet of paper. So that's a mistake, to have more statistics than there is data. I think this graph really shows what's in that data. You have age, birth control use, and blood pressure. And this really shows you how they're related. You could have done for each of those populations that are all along this thing, you could have done a histogram and compared the histograms, but it would be too much.
thank you, that's very helpful.
Sure.
I just want, hello, if I can just say one thing. You're saying to copy the graph. An easier way to copy a graph is if you press the Windows Shift and S button all at once. It gives you the option to screenshot your window at a certain size. So you could just, it'll just copy it to your clipboard and you can paste it.
Okay, I think that's a good advice.
Yeah,
okay.
it's an easier way. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, like the purpose of these computer assignments is that when you get into actually using and analyzing data, you usually use computer programs. So this is to give you some experience at using a computer program. if I go back to the data, there's the data. I could have done analyze. Descriptive statistics is another useful one. I could have, for blood pressure, if you click on options, you get the statistics that can be computed, mean, standard deviation. You can compute kurtosis and skewness if you're interested in whether the data is normal or whether it departs from normal, whether it's skewed data or leptokurtic or platykurtic. Anyway, we'll be looking at different techniques later on in the later assignments as well. It's when I did computer stuff, use punch cards. Okay, so computing has really improved unbelievable amount. You'd have to write out your code on a set of punch cards, hand in that code, go back and pick up the printout for your results. It's now very fast. So are there any other questions?
This might be
Yeah,
a
quick
random
question.
What's that?
Could you explain how to get the Excel data from a user's computer, I guess, to my computer, because I can't get it to show on my side.
Okay, now I'll go to, I'll close this. Okay, so if I go to the web and I go to my homepage, and more than that, go to the stats. No, wait a second. I want to make that big. Okay, so go to stats 245. Here are the computer assignments. This is the data. Now, if I write, if I click on this, it'll open it up. There is the data. I'll enable editing. But then I can file, save as, browse. If I want to save it on my desktop, that's here. I don't know if I can save it. On that. Yeah, I don't see the VPN site on here. That's where I'd like to save it. Yeah, I can. I'd have to save it there and then go to the open up the VPN site and drag it from my desktop onto the desktop for the VPN site. Are there any other questions?
Sorry, I can't get the Excel file to work on SPSS. I don't know why, but I can't open it.
But is it on the VPN site? Where is the SPSS file? See,
The Excel, you mean?
yeah, the Excel file.
I saved it on my desktop.
Okay, see, the VLab SPSS can't find your desktop. It has to find the desktop of the VPN site. Am I connected there? Yeah, I'm connected there. So this is the desktop of my, it's here. This is where the VLab SPSS file can look for files. There's a desktop there. Now I have assignment 1 already installed on that. That's if I didn't have it installed on that desktop, I'd have to go to my desktop and drag it there. So in order for the VLab SPSS to find it, it has to be on the desktop associated with a university computer. So you could do that by going into university and going into a computer lab, but I don't know if that's possible right now. So in this little button down here, this is the Cisco AnyConnect. You click on that to access the desktop and documents that you would have on a university site.
Yeah, another quick question. How would I get the Cisco AnyConnect?
Do you not have it, or I don't know? Mine always was there.
It could be because I'm not in Canada, so.
Yeah. Let me just, I'm going up here and I'm going to search for Cisco. AnyConnect. Now, I'm not sure if you can download it at any of these sites. So I don't, so if you go onto the internet, you can certainly find Cisco AnyConnect. There may be sites where you can download it. Are there any other questions?
Hi, Professor. I had a quick question. So, in the first few steps where you're telling us when it asks for the file name and the file type we put in Excel data,
Yeah.
could you go over really quick again what we're supposed to do after that? Because I can't seem to find the section where it gives all the assignments.
Where it gives the, so you have to open up a file into the data. I'll just go to my IBM SPSS.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so here it says open up another file. I press open down here. Now here it's the file type that it can be, Excel. I have to look where it is. This is in documents, it's not in documents. It's on my desktop. I don't know what's happening there.
We're in 3D objects right now. I think you meant to click desktop.
Yeah. Okay, there's the desktop.
The thing is that when I press desktop, I don't know if it's just me, but it comes up empty. And I've tried reloading it.
Same here.
Okay, where's the desktop? Is it on your computer?
No,
Is it-
when I open the toolbox, when I want to upload the file again, the app, like the file, the Excel file is on desktop, but when I go to open it, the desktop file is empty.
Okay. So
Yeah,
here,
make sure that your chosen file type is the Excel file type when you're loading it in.
Yeah.
I literally just did it through that and it should work. Double check like two things, right? If you're doing it through like VLab, yeah, make sure that you like upload the file. Make sure you put it onto the VLab desktop. And then from the VLab desktop, when you're opening up a file in SPSS, make sure that you're actually in the right directory and then make sure that it's set to Excel. Because if it's not, it won't even show up regardless.
Okay. See, it used to be when you work from VLab, okay, you could open up files on your own desktop, but for some reason they've canceled that ability. So you have to have the file in the desktop that's associated with VLab. I think I can get at files that are in the cabinet. Okay, the cabinet desktop. I think I can get at those files from my SPSS version. Trying to do that now, but it's taking too much time. So are there any other questions? We can also have questions during the next lecture.
I have a very quick one.
Sure.
So on the subject of this lab and the recording, I know you said you weren't recording it.
Yeah.
I have recorded it.
Okay, good.
I need your permission to do anything with it.
Sure.
Can I distribute it?
Sure, you can distribute it.
Okay. I sent you an email to that effect.
Okay.
About, just your permission.
Sure.
For that kind of thing.
Yeah, I give my permission to recording any lectures here. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
I was just wondering, what are we going to be doing in the rest of the labs? Like, what do they consist of every week?
Okay. There are the tests that are coming up. There's practice exercises. You can ask questions about those practice exercises if you're having trouble. I've got the solution to most of the practice exercise posted. So just basically that. Asking questions about the practice exercise or any other issue related to the course.
I have a question.
Sure.
So at the bottom right, when I try to look for Cisco WebEx,
Yeah,
VPN, all I can find is this microphone icon, and I hover over it, and it says Cisco WebEx meetings is using your microphone. And when I click on it, it takes me to settings. So I'm not sure what's going on.
yeah. I don't know either. I think you can get quite good advice by calling the university IT if you're having. I was having trouble getting connected to Cisco Any Connect, and they helped me quite a bit that way.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, can you show very quickly that after we open the Excel file on SPSS, what was the what did we have to do?
I think a graph for this particular example, a graph is very good. Okay. Here I'll open up some data. It's on the desktop. It's in an Excel file. There's many examples. Here I'll open up this one here. No, I'll open up this one. No, I'll open up assignment one. Now, This is the analysis that you can do. There's a large range of analysis that can be done. I'll be showing you some of those later on. This one, I'm thinking just a chart. And a box plot categorized. So you pull this into here. And then you would pull the variables where you want those. Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
Hi, Professor. I just have a quick question.
Sure.
When I'm trying to graph my data, I don't seem to have the box plots option, and I'm not quite sure why that's happening.
Okay, so I'll just cancel. So if I go in, do you go into Graph Chart Builder? Press OK. And then up comes all of the charts that are available.
Yeah.
And you don't have the box plot?
I don't have the box plot option. But yeah, mine stops at like the high-low. That's the last one I have for mine.
Okay. And what version of SPSS are you using?
The one that we click from VLabs. 26
26.
SPSS.
It should have had the box plots option there. I don't know why it is. If you stretch out the window, does it show? Like for instance, if the window's too short, no.
Yeah, nope. It's still the same.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. What you could do is if the version of SPSS, is that your version or is it university's version? Like if it's the university's version, you can go into IT support and they might help you there.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sorry, one last question. When we make the graph, the axes will be age group and blood pressure, right? The x-axis will be blood pressure and y-axis would be age group.
No, the y-axis, the vertical axis will be blood pressure. The horizontal axis will be age group.
Okay. And then the clusters would be birth control pills, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I just had another quick question. So
Yeah.
for the assignment itself, when we're working through it, basically, I guess our answer for the assignment is just, we'd just be kind of referring to our graph and
Yeah.
talking about how each of the variables relate to one another, correct?
Sure. Yes. Mhm.
And that's all we'd have to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
thank
wanted
you.
as minimal as possible.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Your voice was cutting off for me.
Okay, I want it to be as minimal as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing my screen, and the lecture is now in.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.